Here we are. Let's do this. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
First stop is the post office to drop off a lot of Ollie Boys for you guys. A lot of packages. And then on the road to the hospital. Last night was really weird for both of us. Peter was up at 5 a.m. I was up at 3 a.m. I was sure when I woke up at 3 a.m. that it was like 6 or 7. No, it was 3 a.m. I don't know. I was having a ton of night sweats last night. I don't know what all that was about. But Peter then was up since 5 a.m. So at some point, his body is probably going to be like, whoa, man.
Well, we went to bed earlier than normal last night, and I think that might have to do with it. I think my sleep was just off. But anyways, I got things done.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's go look at some amazing leaves on our way to the hospital. What an appropriate song to be playing as we pull out of that tunnel. This is where Nervous Belly usually starts kicking in, and in true Mary fashion, it has kicked in. So I'm gonna keep blasting this song. Also, can we just take a minute to acknowledge how cute Peter looks? I love the new hat, and I just think you're cute all over.
Thanks, you too.
Link in the description.
To our cuteness?
To your hat.
Aww.
I like your boot. Look at that boot. I like your boot.
This is a first. We came into the hospital and there was an elevator open.
No way.
It's never, we always have to wait.
So, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Alright, we made it in a room. First step, Mary weighed herself. And some like evacuation alarm going off in the hallway. But nobody seems to be alarmed by it, so it says if this alarm
sounds after
this message.
But ours alarmed before.
But then the message keeps going, so it's like, I don't know.
But it was like basically saying this is not a test.
Yeah.
It was like,
I don't know.
Guess we'll find out eventually.
So, feel nervous?
Oh, I feel
good?
I feel ready.
Ready?
I feel I don't really know if my lung function's gonna be better or the same or worse. I can't like even.
Yeah.
Oh, there it did alarm.
We've just seen that it's like almost impossible to gauge the numbers based on what I mean, I feel like we're both hopeful that they're up because it seems like quality of life is up and steroids are definitely doing some things to improve energy, and seems like Mary's lungs are doing better from a lot of perspectives.
Yeah. Last night was my last dose of 2 antibiotics. I just finished 3 weeks of the antibiotics.
So this is good timing to do this, and so we will see. But
I feel like in my head there's kind of 3 different options. If they are better, we can assume the steroids are playing a role. If they are the same, then we decide I probably will stay on the steroids and kind of just take it as it comes. And if they are worse, then we continue talking with my doctor and
figure things out.
Yeah, make more changes or continue going or whatever it is. But like, no matter what that number is, we are still living our life. And
that's right.
I remember that the last time we did PFTs, so I think it was about 3 weeks ago. After PFTs, like they were the lowest that they've been in quite a while, and I just wasn't feeling good that day either. like physically, and
it was a hard day.
It was a hard day. And I feel more like ready to handle whatever that number is, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm in the same place, like whatever the number is, like I'm happy that Mary's been feeling better than she was. Yeah, like as I think back to sitting here in clinic 3 weeks ago, like you're not miserable like you were then.
Yeah.
So
in fact, I emailed to see if they have any more time for me to ride a horse later this week.
There you go.
Maybe it's the horse that's making me feel better.
Maybe. I'm thinking the steroids, but we'll see.
Ready, huge breath. And blast out, all the way out, all the way. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going as much as you can.
Ooh. It felt like I was gonna pass out. Okay. I am up a few percent, and that's good because that's, you know, that matches how we've been feeling like I'm doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
And
so it's encouraging to
that's
have
very
the numbers
good.
Improvement along with how she's feeling.
Woo!
So that's awesome. So
So
we're
good.
celebrating that and getting ready to do a high altitude test and see how Mary will do on the plane going to Chicago. At least that's our plan.
Yeah. So he just explained it. So he brings in a tank that is 15% oxygen. In the air we're breathing is 21%. So they hook me up to the 15 because that's more like what a plane would be. Hook it up to a mask. I breathe that amount of oxygen for 15 minutes, and if I drop below a certain threshold, then they whatever, and if I keep above a certain threshold, all that sort of stuff. So we'll try to get a clip of what it all looks like, but that's sounds
What's
easy.
next? Yeah.
I had no clue what it was gonna be like, but sounds good.
Just breathe normally.
Nose or mouth?
Either one. Either one's fine.
Okay, just finished the high altitude test. So there's the tank, and then it was just that mask that you guys saw, and my numbers like were just on the threshold. So what's he called? Tech. The tech said it'll be up to my doctors because I was like right on the line whether I should use oxygen on the flight or not. So my team will make that decision, and then whatever they decide, that's what we'll go with. Next, I'm gonna get a flu shot, and then we're gonna go down and get lab work and that urine sample for the endocrinologist so they can check my calcium something. So flu shot, blood work, urine sample. Already gave them my 2 sputum samples and did PFTs and altitude tests. Wow.
You are a productive girl.
That was, there we go.
There you go.
And my review of the high altitude test is super easy. You just have to sit there with the mask on and breathe. So, flu shot done. Peter's finished, or he's working on like some church postcards or something. But we're getting ready to head down to phlebotomy, and almost done. Here we are. Let's do this. Leaving the hospital this time feels a lot different to me. Like,
Yeah, what are you feeling right now?
I feel thankful and hopeful, and thankful that the steroids are an option, and
Yeah.
I'm just thankful. And I'm thankful that even the last couple weeks with lower lung function or with higher lung function, like, we just keep on living. Life doesn't stop. It gets a little slower because I can't breathe, but life doesn't stop. You may or may not know this about us, but we actually have never been into sports, pretty much.
But
But-
they are.
All of these people are, and in case you are a sports person, here's...
there.
What?
They just put that banner right there, that one.
Oh, I see. I thought it was like, okay, I was confused.
These are all the years that they've won the World Series. And they just put up 2018 because they won 2 days ago.
So there you go. If you're a sports person, hopefully this is cool for you. There's your little Fenway, walk down Fenway lane.
We have been to a game at Fenway though.
That's true. I want to show you guys just the cute architecture and the leaves and just like, I don't know, sometimes I wish we would have filmed more of Scotland like this. So I just want to remember this. I just want to, I mean, we still live here, so it's not like I'm going to forget it, but yeah. Here's what we look at when we drive away.
We stopped and got some tasty burger.
Oh, so good. Wait, in my opinion, right now in my life, I like it maybe twice as much as I like Five Guys. And I like Five Guys.
Today's burger was a little greasy for me.
Mine was a little less greasy than usual. Oh. And yes, you heard us. 2 burgers. Usually we share food, but steroids are real, and I ate an entire, almost an entire burger.
She ate more of her burger than I ate of my burger.
It's so fun to eat. Eating's the best.
I bet it's almost as good as watching you eat.
Okay, so I wanted to give a little background on oxygen. So today we did the high altitude test. I think that's what it's called. And they hooked me up to that huge tank. The tank, oh, I think we did explain this, is filled with 15% oxygen.
Yeah.
The air that we breathe is 21%. In an airplane, the oxygen concentration is more like 15. So that's why they kind of replicate what it's like for you when you're in an airplane. And okay, so at normal day life, my lungs are able to oxygenate. My body is able to have enough oxygen. Sometimes during exercise, my oxygen will drop slightly, but not enough that I would need supplemental oxygen at this point. And so for now, my body doesn't need it on like normal day life. But that airplane test, I guess it was, I don't know, it's just, I guess breathing less oxygen obviously is harder for your body. So my results or whatever, and I'm right on the line. It could be that they say like, yes, you need to take it with you, or no, you're fine. It could go either way. So whatever they decide is what it'll be. So that's the oxygen explanation. And then quick note about PFTs, pulmonary function test. Okay, this was the other thing I wanted to say about oxygen. He's laughing at me. The other thing about oxygen is people with CF or maybe any other lung issues, some people, their lung function number is quite high, but their body isn't able to oxygenate well, so their O2 numbers are low, so then they need to use supplemental oxygen. Other people have lung function numbers that are quite low, but they never need oxygen, or they, whatever, you know, like it's not necessarily that lung function goes with oxygenation. Sometimes it can, and I think that that's probably true in, I don't know, I kind of wonder if we would have done the oxygen, this high altitude test 10 years ago when I used to fly back and forth from Chicago, when I lived in Chicago, I'd be really interested, because whenever I get off the plane, I just don't feel right. My cheeks get really pink, and I just don't feel good, and I've kind of always wondered, but I thought, well, I wonder, I don't know, I guess it's not an oxygen issue because my O2 is normally fine. But anyway, so all of that to say, I'm glad we did the test, and whatever they decide will be the final call. And then lung function wise, I am not back to where I was for the last 2 years, but I'm closer to that range. So I'm still like below what we would consider my baseline, but because I've been like so far below my baseline, we're ecstatic to be in the same, I don't know, in a better range.
Yeah.
And better isn't even the word. I don't know, I guess I hesitate to get real sad and I hesitate to get real happy either way, because we are like super thankful and excited for this bump in my numbers. But on the other hand, if they were lower, it doesn't take away the amazing day I had yesterday. And if they're lower, it doesn't take away the fun that we have together and the awesome life that I have. Like a number, but it's definitely, if they were lower, it would put us in a tricky spot treatment-wise, and there's no doubt about that. We don't want to let numbers run our life, but the reality and sometimes the discouragement of numbers, that is very real. So it's something that we have to constantly be like thinking through and working through in our own minds. So, oh my. Well, that is one thing about steroids. I just got a high glucose alert on my phone, which I almost never get. My blood sugar is usually, it only goes low, but on steroids it can go high. So I guess that is one thing. My endocrinologist said, yeah, your blood sugars, she looked at my Dexcom numbers and said, yeah, they're going high, but they're not going too high, and you're only on steroids for a short time. So that would be a reason to consider how long should we stay on the steroids, but at this point it's okay. And of course, if we got to a place where it was like my body needs the steroids but my numbers are going bad, then we could always, you know, if she decided I needed to do insulin or something like that. But at this point we're good. Okay, so pros and cons of life, pros and cons of medications, all the things. That's our life for today. Thank you for joining us, and as always, we will see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
And don't forget, you can get little Ollie boys in our online store.
Ollie, do you love all the little Ollie boys around our house? Did you see all the little Ollie boys that we're gonna send all over the world? Can you say
good night?
Bye, guys. Good night.